Yo,
So,
how's it
boys,
going, guys?
got out of hand quickly.
Yeah,
Man.
that was close, but and Penix just kind of gave it up.
Yeah, and I think he's doing the classic like fake injury or / holding the side. I don't know. He should have held the ball a little longer, I guess.
Hey, in his defense, man, he's been laying on the ground a lot tonight. Washington's offensive line has not been able to hold anybody.
Yeah, I mean they basically kept the score the same for 2 quarters, right? Quarter 2, quarter 3, within 7. But yeah, very, very. I guess the last 2 scores have been in the past, 3 to 4 minutes of game time. So just explode.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I was thinking if Michigan went up early, that they were just going to win by 3 or 4 touchdowns. That's what I was thinking. Like on the weekend, Pretty much. I mean, they controlled the whole game basically. Michigan, they kept it close a little bit, but they were never in a threat to lose the game at any point.
Right. I also saw a lot of drops in the second half that could have been caught kind of by both teams. But especially Washington, like you're down 7, you need to be catching the ball. So,
yeah, a lot of drops, but a lot of bad throws too from Penix. I mean, he missed probably 5 wide open guys. I mean, 1 for a touchdown, earlier on. He just didn't make plays. Didn't keep his team in the game enough.
Yeah, I think at their third down percentage tonight was 15%. I think in the second half they went 8 times in a row off the field on third down. They couldn't convert on third down at all. So I think that was probably one of the biggest takeaways from the game. They had those really bad punts. Washington needs to hit the portal really hard and find a new kicker because he was just sending darts out there and wasn't really flipping the field for Washington.
Yeah. I mean, I think Penix just had a rough game. Offensive line had a pretty rough game. Washington's defense did keep him in the game for a little bit. Like, Michigan could have blown him out by 50 points if they just kept running the ball over and over and just scoring a touchdown every other play.
Yeah.
But Washington did keep him in the game long enough to give their offense a shot. Well, the offense just didn't step up and play, really.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, they lose the turnover battle. Excuse me, it's getting late. 2-0, right? So Michigan lost the time of possession. I mean, Washington had the ball for over 33 minutes of the game, and still was only able to squeeze out 13 points. I mean, there's still 2 minutes left to go, but this is basically garbage time. So. I think this will probably wind up being the final.
Josh, can you let?
No, not till final.
What do you mean?
You want me to let the Michigan man? We got a special guest. I just want to let the audience know. I don't see us, burning the midnight oil too long here tonight to let this guy victory lap. About his first national championship in 26 years. But we do have a special guest on tonight, Roman, the Michigan man, and we'll go ahead and bring him on in so he can bask in the last 1 minute and a half of this game. Roman, welcome in, man. How's it feel to be a winner?
Good, good. No, it always feels good. Always feels good.
So Roman,
I'm rocking my special jersey. Oh no, not jersey. My special sweater.
Do you feel like you deserve this one? Did you earn it, or was it just?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's always the victory, as we know, always goes to the team with the strongest schedule. throughout the year. So given Michigan's extremely strong schedule, I think it's undeniable that this was a absolutely guaranteed victory. That was in the making.
Man,
Ever since those games that we won in week 1, week 2, week 3, it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, dude, I remember
it was very clear.
The struggle of Rutgers.
Yeah.
Being down
Yes.
7-0 to Rutgers, like
Yeah.
that's who you are.
Yeah. No,
program. I mean, sometimes it takes getting your ass beat in New Jersey in the first quarter to like survive and win national championships. So that's really
No, of course, yeah. It's really and let's not forget, all the things that took place off the field, right? The conditioning, the cheating. It was all part of it.
Well, it's the final now. We hit all zeros.
34-13
for the CFP. 34-13. Michigan takes down the Huskies here. We're talking here with Roman, the Michigan man, on the inaugural Locky Top podcast. And he's repping the brand hard, right?
Yeah.
I would be too. It's been 26 years, but it might be 26 days before that shit's fucking vacated. So, Connor Stallion's in the house. I saw him on the 50. They panned over him a couple times during the game. So, enjoy it now. I know they won't be able to take the memories away from you, Rome, and the rest of the guys up north, but enjoy it, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Couple keys to the game, I think, are number one, you don't need your coach for the whole season. Like 6 games, like how many games they play? 14?
No, I always thought it was done completely on purpose, right? Like the self-imposed game quarantine. It was obviously there to just basically either like front run the suspension that was to come, or like prepare the team to just play without the coach. So, that's the really Illuminati, like thinking down the road, not just taking it like day by day, but playing, 4D chess. Some people are just playing checkers. Harbaugh was like, you know what? These guys gotta be ready to play without me. Let me just suspend myself for 6 games against an absolute like cupcake teams in the start of the season. But hey, look, it paid off, right? So I think that's and again comes to show how much is it the players, is it the coach? I think it
Dude, if
finally
comes
around.
I think it has something
Michigan's
to do
good.
with the sign stealing, but we'll see.
I mean, stealing signs from Rutgers.
Since
what
Michigan,
signs are they stealing? Like stop signs around campus?
Look, Michigan is known thieves. I mean, they stole the Heisman Trophy from Peyton Manning 26 years ago. So, it's on brand for
and all the Super Bowls
Michigan.
that Tom Brady stole from everybody. If you want to take it that far.
Tom Brady stole air from the ball too. Like
he went through that. Yeah, that all of that school of hard knocks that Michigan had to steal. But I mean, the season is wrapping up. I mean, what I think is really interesting though is I think what is this game, like this victory, speak about the college football as a whole, right? And I think like losing the way that Washington lost, and it just comes to show that in reality, like all these rankings, all these standings, all this like antics and shenanigans that happen during the season, they really mean nothing. When a number 1 team can be a number 2 team in a way that it looks like it's like number 1 team playing number 50 team, right? It just shows that there's the difference is just so massive, right? And you really got to look at the actual like talent on the field. The player, like if your defense is just stronger, like bigger, faster by that much, which is possible in college, right? It's not that likely to happen in the pros, but in college it's possible. So even number one team can absolutely embarrass like the proverbial number two team, right? And I think a lot of it goes back to the whole like, freak out over, FSU, making it, not making it, right? And then they go in and lose by 50 points. Like it just doesn't matter, right? It's not really that the four best teams make it in. It's just kind of like whatever.
You think Georgia beats Michigan?
There you go.
That's the thing. Like we don't know, but that's
absolutely.
That's right. So that's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question. Yeah.
Georgia is by far the best team in college football.
Right.
They beat Michigan hands down.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm trying to. That's exactly what I'm trying to get at. Right. It's like this game. I think is not about like. I don't know. I think if you take a broader like view on what any of these games meant, I think they meant to once again demonstrate that college football rankings and all the antics surrounding everything that goes on in college football is just a big like show, really. Like in reality, yeah, like Georgia and Michigan have probably been a better game. I don't know if they were gonna like necessarily win. Georgia, this was the worst Georgia team I've seen in many, many years. It's just hands down the case. On offense, and this was not the Georgia defense, like last year before. So Michigan definitely has a better defense here than Georgia. So I still give them an edge there. And then offensively, I mean, Georgia hasn't done shit all season. So I don't know how you guys would language here, but they haven't done shit, right? So, but again, I do agree that a Michigan versus Georgia final would have been a much more like interesting matchup and much more representative for the two top teams in the country. Even Michigan, Alabama, but Texas, Washington, like just embarrassment, right, all around. FSU, my God, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with when we have like 12 teams, right? Because you have to think about the difference between the number one team and the number 12 team is going to be like fucking enormous.
I think
so. We'll see.
12 would have been Liberty this year. I just can't imagine the Liberty
Michigan.
Yeah.
I think like it's like Tulane is 11, like Georgia Tulane, like that's not good. And I think for the second year in a row, we had good semifinal, bad final.
Naveen, don't ever underestimate the ability of Caden Salter, former Tennessee quarterback, for now at Liberty to come in and cook. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know how he would have done. He would have probably done the same way he did in his bowl game, but let's be honest. I think the committee got it as right as they could, but I really do. Sorry, Roman. Georgia's in it. They're beating Michigan.
I would love for that, but
But we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Our own opinion.
We'll never know.
But
But what we do know is that these rankings don't mean shit. Right? That's what we do know. Yeah, and it's I think it's just a big like middle finger to everybody that was talking about which team deserves it, which team doesn't deserve it, what's the better team, what's the worst team. Like, guys, unless you do like a real, like almost player by player, position by position, like fundamental analysis, like very deeply, maybe even like play by play, then it's very hard in college football to figure out what's a really good team, what's a really bad team. So these playoffs are always fun, but the reality is, second year in a row, like Naveen's saying, we have one good playoff game and the rest are just snooze fest.
To be fair, Washington just needed one big play to tie the game at 20, and they just didn't get it.
Yeah. And then it fucking exploded.
And then it was over, They didn't get it, and then 85-yard interception.
Interception, yeah.
Yeah, and Matt Ryan needed a one big play at 28-3 too. Oh yeah, that's the same shit over and over. But it's. I think this was not. I don't think this was a game of one play, right? Like this was not like Alabama needed one big play.
Yeah, dude.
Bama needed one big play, but this was not a game of one big play. This was gonna go this way, whether it was gonna be 34-13 or 44-30 or 20-3. It was gonna go this way. Like it's just. One big play there, one big play the other way was going to come back.
So Roman, did we even need to play this season? Was it just
no? It was literally after the first 3 games.
right?
I told you from the beginning. As soon as after Rutgers, it was it.
Yeah,
That was the real national championship.
That was the
Michigan
one
Rutgers
season. Rutgers pinned them down in the first quarter, and then after that, Michigan found their way. And really, there might be a speech at halftime at Rutgers that we'll find out about later.
Hey, Greg Schiano, man, that's all I can say.
Yeah,
former Tennessee head coach Greg Schiano goes and almost takes down Michigan earlier this year. But I think that was the key to success for Michigan to move forward and continue to steal signs and cheat the entire rest of the season. But and like I said, Rome, enjoy it while you can, man. They're coming for
I was trying to look up when did the Vols win the last national championship.
Oh, 1998, 25 years ago. The year
Hey,
after
Manning,
you guys
bro.
won your last one. All right. Peyton Manning.
So what does that
Peyton
mean?
Manning,
So that means
Peyton Manning wasn't on that team.
No.
That's right.
It was T. Martin.
Josh, in case you're wondering, Roman likes his bagels with stallion cream cheese.
I saw the stallion cream cheese as soon as I brought him in on the chat. Yeah. That's all those fucking dudes in blue have been doing all year is just, loving on Connor Stallions. But it's okay.
Dude, I mean, ultimately, this is a lesson for the rest of our lives, right? Like, why not cheat? Like you cheat, you don't get punished, just cheat better. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, it's like at work, right? Your bank gets fined $5 billion. What happens? They pay the fine and they keep doing it. Right? Like,
hey man,
that's
I was good with
thing. Life, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, I was totally good with Jeremy Pruitt handing out McDonald's bags of cash to Tennessee players, but he still couldn't win. So, it is what it is.
Burger King
too. At least Michigan was able to figure out the formula to win while cheating. So, hats off to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole lot of discussion, but look, I mean, that also, I think, if you think about it, like, why is that even the case? In the first place, like, why are we? Like, I think NIL probably solves some of this, but the reality, like, the real, like, quote unquote cheaters, right, is like Nick Saban, right, who's just gonna do what? Come back and win next year, and then probably the year after that. And
sure,
this is like just a, especially like with like Michigan, like all these players are gonna be drafted, right? Like this team is just not gonna exist next year. This is the real reason they won, right? Is because of how many starters they returned from last year, and then the cupcake schedule and no injuries. I mean, where are the injuries? Where are the real, like, significant injuries? They're in there. Not this year. They're just not. So I think you have, like, if you were to say what were the, like, biggest keys to success that aren't just on the field, I think it's the lack of injury and definitely the, like I said, like the cupcake schedule. Like, I joke about it, but truly not having to sweat it first 4 or 5 games, 6 games, is always good to preserve injury. I mean, we're seeing that in the NBA. We're seeing that all over the place, right? Like, players don't give a shit, right? What's the point of me busting
load management?
Load management, right? But that's the thing, right? Like, you can load manage in college too. If you think about it, like, if I can load manage it against Monmouth University, my first week, my second week, play the Tech College, Community College of West, Alabama, like, great, and that sucks, I think, for, like, SEC teams that can't do it. Maybe it'll be different with the new schedule, but the reality is, lack of injuries. In college, very hard to replace, right, an injured player. In the NFL, a lot of time we see a lot of guys, coming from the practice squad, third stringers come in and just completely take over running back position, especially, you guys know it better than me, right? So
sure.
But in college, Blake Corum's gone. There's no next man up. It's just, next man up mentality doesn't exist. So you save those guys, you protect those guys. The quarterback especially, right? I mean, we've seen this year in the NFL, right? Some of these backup quarterbacks have made starters look bad. It was like a live version of the Replacements movie, just played out on the national TV in real life. And so what? Those guys look good, right? Those guys look good. And I think, if JJ McCarthy goes down, who's there? We don't know.
That's why the committee left Florida State out, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Florida,
he got put out against a team that really didn't matter, and that's the unfortunate part too, right? It wasn't like it was a conference game, but Rome, I want to get a couple more thoughts. We'll go round table. Naveen, give Roman some 2 takeaway thoughts so we can get him out of here. So he can go get to bed and enjoy drinking from, the high label stuff tonight while he celebrates Michigan's win. But go ahead, Naveen. Hit him with some final thoughts.
Yeah, number one is I just want to say that it's great to be a Michigan man. Like, I've never doubted Michigan in my life. Really, this is the best I've seen them play. And when you play such a difficult schedule all year long, you really can't go up from here. And hey, they won every single game that was in front of them on the schedule. Put Georgia on the schedule, they might cheat and win again. So that's all it takes. Seriously though, congrats to Charlotte. It must be a big deal for her. Like, actually going to the school. We're only Michigan fans, from a distance, third party connection. So,
well, you went to the important games. Important game.
I went to the turning point of Jim Harbaugh's life. I was there. Just congrats to him. Congrats to you. Congrats to Charlotte. And it's, hail to the victors.
Hail.
All right, Frank, give him the business real quick, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, growing up, I was a Michigan fan too.
Oh my God. I'm literally about to bring this shit up.
So I was rooting for Michigan a little bit.
Guys just have the room, okay? Let me go ahead and take myself.
This is where it happens, where we have all the secret fans showing up from under the covers.
I take it back to Chad Henne,
Jesus
and back to Mike Hart when I was growing up running the football.
Okay.
I think I actually had a Mike Hart jersey, number 20, Michigan, when I was a kid.
Any of your relatives work for Michigan, Frank?
This is a real question.
No. All right. But my cousin was on the field.
Your cousin was on the field.
She was on the sideline for Washington tonight, watching them get their ass kicked. But what can you do?
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Was she working also for Michigan with a little bit of the sign?
Oh yeah.
She's in charge of the Huskies. Like the dog they bring around.
Yeah.
He's just walking around with the dog the whole time, cutting them loose on the field. Yeah.
Michigan should bring a
Wolverine. What a life! What a job to have,
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
Well, now that the Michigan Love Fest is over, I'll hit you with a couple things real quick before we get you out of here. But I know we've kind of give you a hard time earlier about the stealing of the signs and everything. Do you think, honestly, I mean, this is coming from your pals. Do you think this will continuously be a discussion for the off season about the sign stealing, and does it put an asterisk beside this win tonight?
Oh no! I mean, I don't think it puts an asterisk behind the win, but I think off season is going to be full of Jim Harbaugh. Where is he coaching next year? In the NFL, not in NFL.
Where do you think he's going to be?
I mean, I think it depends. I think he can do what the typical college football coach can do right now, and just like put it on his chest and wear it and secure whatever contract he needs to secure, and just milk the college for as much as possible. And then 3 years down the road, they're going to buy him out, right? For whatever millions of money, basically Orgeron type of situation, where they just buy him out, show him the door, the whatever, millions and millions of dollars to just leave. And I think that would be the smartest financial decision for him. Now, if he really wants to go after it, I think, yeah, just go to the NFL. But then, you risk obviously being exposed for being fraudulent, right? And then, but you get to play in the NFL. You get to coach in the NFL, right? So I think he has to make a decision. I wouldn't be surprised if he stays. I think most people are like actually taking a very like narrow, basic, like simpleton kind of view that, oh no, he's afraid of the asterisk and of the cheating and blah blah blah, so he's gonna run away. Like, no, guys, I'm sorry, that's not how it happens in the world of college football, right? Like, we know all the politics and borderline kind of like corruption that goes on in these like universities and the athletic departments, and he's just going to negotiate. He can and probably should negotiate the nicest piece that he can for himself, and just get bought out in 2 years. Because guess what, next year after, if he's unable to recruit, and he's not the guy who's known for, right, like the type of recruiting that is needed to make this into Alabama, or Georgia type of program. So I think we know how it's going to go.
Well, fair enough. So you think
seems like he's got to stay,
Yeah.
Seems like he's got to stay at Michigan.
Yeah, I think financially that's it. But hey, if he leaves, I think if he leaves, it's a harder thing to do, because he's going to go to the NFL, have to prove himself, have to win games. I think he's guaranteed an easy life in retirement if he stays in Michigan. People love him there too, right? Let's not forget, he's very much a loved person in Ann Arbor. He's a bit of a local celebrity, so
he's an alum. He played there.
No, it's people wear his face on their shirts.
Let me ask you this, Roman. Opening day, college football season next year, will he be there or not? Head coach, yes or no?
I think yes.
Okay. Well,
take it to your bookie.
There you go. Well, that's the kind of stuff that we need here on Locky Top. Known locks like that. So I appreciate
it. It's a lock. It's a lock.
That.
I think it's a lock for him and for everybody who supports him in this decision.
Well, Roman, we're gonna stick around for a little while, but I want to give you an opportunity to give a parting gift. So anything you got for the one viewer we have?
The one fan, yay! Look, Australian Open is about to start, so where one season winds down, another season is just starting up. So tennis is starting. We are full swing in college basketball and many other things. So the locks are there. But the one who seeks shall find them.
Well, we won't give free chicken away, and we'll make sure we bring you back for some college basketball picks. Obviously, maybe some tennis picks.
Tennis, absolutely. You just have to fade every single one of them, and you will be a winning person. It's
I mean, just bet on Frank's cousin Novak Djokovic, and you'll be fine, Roman.
There you go. Easy money. Okay. All right, Ron. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping by, and congratulations to your Wolverines. All right, fellas. So, I mean, that was this went probably about the same way I thought it would. Love Rome, big Michigan guy. So, thoughts on the game? Let's just recap the game a little bit, and then give some thoughts on what you think the off season is going to look like. Maybe a couple things on NIL, and then we'll close it out, and then talk about what we're going to do for our podcast in kind of like when we're trying to post that. So I'll open it up for you, Frank. Go ahead, and what's your thoughts on going into spring ball now?
Yeah, I'll just say thoughts on the game. I mean, I thought after the first quarter, I thought it was 56, 60-point game for Michigan. It kind of looked that way. I mean, they just weren't getting stopped. Like 2 touchdowns in a row, 40-plus yard rushes. I mean, they're just handing the ball up the middle and scoring touchdowns. So it's like, if you can't stop that, the game's already over. But Washington was pretty resilient. They didn't give up. But there was no real point in the game where Michigan was threatened to lose the game at any point. Not from the first snap to the fourth quarter. So it was just a dominant performance, really, outside of like maybe 10 minutes right in the middle of the game where they gave Washington a small window. And they just didn't do anything.
Yeah, when they closed it into that 7-point deficit there, I really thought, hey, Michael Penix has got a really good opportunity to do something here, but get the offense going. But it just kept stalling on third down, and then we saw what the result of that was.
Sorry, my dogs are going crazy.
It's okay. We love family, children, pets on this show, so all are welcome.
Yep. I think Washington needed some dogs as well. They really didn't have anything. I think we were sold some Michael Penix propaganda before the game, based on how he played in the semifinal. Two different players. Comparing game over game. He looked really nervous. He looked like he needed help. Drops obviously didn't help him, and he never really got into a rhythm. Like, I would say props to Washington defense. Like, they did hold it together for 2 quarters in a row, basically. And then, like your interceptions and mistakes come and get you at the end. I think, honestly, I didn't expect much from Washington. Like, before the game, I thought, okay, this is going to be Michigan by like 10 points. I think Josh and I talked about it. I think this is a little bit more lopsided than how good the teams are relative to each other. But, back to what Roman said, right? If you don't have any injuries on your team and you don't play anyone, it's easier to get the momentum of playing well as a unit together. And, again, congrats to Michigan. Congrats to Harbaugh. Like, he did it his way. He missed 6 games and still won the Natty. I don't think we'll see that again.
Yeah, that's unheard of. Yeah, almost.
He's like basically only coached like eight games out of a 15 game season. Locked it in. I thought the end of the fourth quarter was exciting, but a lot of the game itself was kind of boring in that when we were locked into that 7-point window.
Yeah, I think probably a lot of people got the sleep monster on their back around that time and probably fell victim to that on the couch or laying in bed. Not a lot of it was just a lot of back and forth. Good defensive football being played and displayed tonight, but not a lot of offensive fireworks, and even most of Michigan's points outside of those first 2 possessions in the first half was really, just good opportunities based off of turnovers, right? And they just cashed in on it, and then Michael Penix overthrowing his receivers all night long, stalling drives constantly, and then when they would get in a good position where they would be on the plus side of the field, I mean, you get a holding call, right? So, and then it backs them up and puts them way behind the sticks. So, Washington, great season. I mean, who would have thunk the last year of the now defunct Pac-12, you'd have Washington in the national championship game. So
yeah, could have easily been Oregon too. If Oregon wins against Washington earlier in the year, I think they lost by 3 points. Could have been Oregon, Michigan. So.
Well, Oregon had a couple of chances to dethrone Washington. I mean, they had them there. If Oregon wins the championship game, I think Oregon's in the playoff.
Yeah. Can't lose to the same team twice. Like, that's just very good in football. I mean, hey, even the Giants smoked the Eagles yesterday, right? Second time playing someone, you get a better sense of what happens. And just going forward, I think Michigan took an opportunity that no team has really ever had in terms of they had to face Michael Penix, and that's about it. In terms of quarterbacks, who have they faced? You know, what is it? Kyle McCord, Ohio State QB. Come on.
He's gone.
Yeah, pretty much nobody. A lot of nobodies.
Nobody. And like, dude, like all these, you know, Heisman contender, lottery pick quarterbacks are pretty bad in terms of the teams that they're on.
I mean, don't forget they played Iowa in the championship game.
Oh yeah, dude. Iowa, like that's a tough team. You know, our 16-year-old quarterback, it's like diced them up. But yeah, like I think ultimately you have to play who you can play, but like man, like for all the hype that these NFL draft picks are getting, like Drake May and Caleb and all these guys, like they're not in the playoffs. You know, that's what I've noticed recently. Like these better QBs just never make it to the playoffs, and you're stuck with Stetson Bennett and Jalen Milroe and the same guys over and over again. McCarthy.
Yeah. Well, even like the USC quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was going to do great at the beginning of the year, but their team just, I mean, USC kind of sucked this year.
Dude, he should have went to the draft last season.
Talking about Caleb Williams.
Yeah. I think he hurt himself by playing this year.
Well, if he would worry less about writing "fuck" whoever he's playing on his fingernails, maybe he would have done better. Like I don't know. That never really appealed to me. I was like, okay, man, I guess that's your thing. But yeah, he definitely fell off, and then probably wasn't a real good look crying with his mom in the stands after he lost his, I think, second or third game of the year, and knew like his fate was sealed. Probably lost his first round draft pick status with that. So
yeah, he would have been up there. Now he's going to be end of the draft somewhere. Fourth round.
I don't know if he'll fall all the way like, you know, the 6th or 7th round, but I think he's definitely fallen to the end of day number 2 in the draft. So good luck to him. I hate to see a guy lose out on money, but you know, he kind of played himself with that.
You guys think he's going to go to the day number 2?
Yeah, I think he'll drop to number 2.
Yeah. I don't think you can take him.
Or day number 2.
Day number 2, not pick 2. Day number 2, we're talking third.
Not round. Pick number 2. Are you crazy?
Caleb Williams is not going to be pick number 2?
No.
I don't think so. I think he's dropping. I mean,
he may be. I mean, the Titans drafted Will Levis. So, I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, right?
I mean, he's not going to be in the top 10. I'll put it that way. At least. I mean, he's going to be somewhere like around the 30th pick of the draft, I think. Somewhere.
I would fade you guys so fucking hard on that.
Do it. Fade it.
That's pretty square. Well, I guess we got to figure out. There's a line on everybody's draft position.
Right.
I'm sure we can bet that, but we'll preview that closer to the draft. Like, how about that, Frank?
23rd pick in the draft.
Yeah. Nav Kuiper coming in with the heat.
Under, dude. Under 5. Dude, people are stupid. You got to realize, like, they're not like results oriented. They have an image of what a QB looks like, and they're thinking about, oh man, like I miss Deron Williams. Like, how do I get a quarterback that looks like Deron Williams? Oh, Caleb Williams, done. That's what they do. That's what they do. But yeah, like I think let's switch a little bit towards looking forward. We're going to have so many changes next year in college football. It's going to be kind of overwhelming. 12-team playoff, conference realignment. You have the NIL. You have all these issues coming up at the same time. I just hope for it's not too messy. You know, like I just hope that it stays like a very kind of organized process. I guess we're gonna have like the bracket style playoffs for the first time, like like a multi-week playoff, like NFL playoffs. That's cool. I think that's good. I think the single best playoff in sports in America is March Madness.
March Madness.
Yeah. So we're basically getting college football madness, December Madness. So that works for me. I'm excited. As far as NIL and transfers and signing and letters of intent, I think it's all bullshit, man. I think you come up to some kid kid at Tennessee, he could sign 1 week, next week he's back at Georgia. I don't think that these commitments really mean as much as they were before. And that's my major issue. Um, as a coach or as a manager, I'd have a really tough time trusting people to stay and honor their commitments. But again, you're opening them up from kind of a dictatorship to a capitalist society in terms of being a pick, right? They're their own agent, right? You're a free agent at all times now in college football, so that's an interesting thing, but it's just hard. I don't think we can read into too much of oh, yo, we got a great draft class, or we got a great recruits, or we just signed this guy off the transfers, because dude, in 2 months he could be back anywhere, and it's just a NIL shit show at this point.
Yeah, and we've talked about it in circles before, just between us and in our group chat. I think NIL is killing college football in some aspects, but I think the biggest threat to the way we look at college football right now is the transfer rule. I think we really got to reel that in, and probably package that inside the NIL deals, and then I think that would probably relieve a little bit of the issues. But I don't think it's going to get solved anytime soon, and I just feel bad for college coaches, and hopefully we can get some type of reins on the madness and know who's going to be on our team from year to year.
Yep.
All right. I got nothing else.
Okay.
Cool. Well, Naveen, do you want to talk about the show, when we're going to post it, and kind of what we're about?
Yeah, sure. So I think Frank, feel free to drop the call if you want. I think what we're going to do is we're going to follow the sports season around. Primarily, we're going to be Tennessee football focused. So college sports, college basketball now. We'll take you through March Madness, and then we'll really just fill in with any sports throughout the week after that. I know it's a tough sell for people to watch NBA or NHL every week. I don't do it. I frankly hate those sports, but we'll have enough to talk about. If we get Roman back on, we can talk about tennis. We can talk about soccer, and then we'll fill you in with what's happening behind the scenes at Tennessee football. That's our meat and potatoes. I would say, we expect half of our viewers to tune in for that at least. And yeah, we want to put out a good product for you guys as viewers. I feel like most of the time we'll be recording throughout the week, and then we'll try to post, I believe, maybe Thursday throughout the day, so that you have enough time to take in our content and then make your football bets at the end of the week. And really, we want to know what you like, what you don't like about the podcast, and we want to go from there. We want to make the best experience for you and still keep it fun for ourselves. So that's our goal at Lucky Top.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I think you hit all the good wave tops there. Tennessee football is probably going to be one of the biggest things that we cover. But during the off season, obviously, we're going to talk about other Tennessee things, whether it be men's basketball. Tony Vitello is going to have the baseball team out there, playing. But basically, just trying to keep a fresh rotation of Tennessee Vols content coming your way, and obviously sprinkling in a little bit of sports bets in there as well. You tell us. I mean, we're here for the audience. Obviously, we want to have fun doing this. This is a hobby for us. We're not looking to, be the next, sensational YouTube channel or Twitter Space Kings or anything like that. If that happens, I mean, by all means, that'd be great. I think that would be awesome, but that's not our goal here. Again, we'll have some more personalities on here as this thing goes. We have a big sphere of friends spread out all over the country. Not everybody's going to be a Tennessee fan, and that's okay. But the people that are going to be running this podcast are, and these reaction shows are Tennessee fans. So that's where most of the Tennessee content will come from. And, we'll also, sprinkle some other things in, like Roman said, like tennis, leave it to a Russian guy to be able to pull the the good tennis picks. So if you're a DGen, we will consult the oracle of the den of DGens. They will be making an appearance. If you don't know, you'll find out who the den of DGens are. They'll make periodic visits to this, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it for the rest of the calendar year, and then moving forward. And down here you'll see subscribe to all of our platforms: YouTube, Instagram, the artist formerly known as Twitter, now known as X, and TikTok. But hey, congrats to Michigan. Hate to see it as a Tennessee fan, but it is what it is. 2023 football season's over. We're shifting gears and going to move forward into 2024. And I like where Tennessee's sitting. Before we run, I just want to give Naveen an opportunity to give me his way too early top 10 going into 2024 and who he thinks is going to come out of the 12-team playoff to be the CFP champion next year.
Okay, well, I just want to personally guarantee that Tennessee is making the playoffs.
Yay!
You can take that to the bank. We will likely be anywhere from 8 to 12. I just want to be realistic. I think we got a new QB, but he seems like a good QB so far. I think top 10. I think it's the same top 10 you'd think it'd be.
Let me guess. The SEC, Michigan, and Ohio State.
Yeah, I think that's about right. And SEC, Michigan, Ohio State. I don't know.
Like top 8 of SEC, and then Michigan.
I don't know.
Ohio State.
Maybe Bo Nix will get like a PhD and then come back with Oregon.
I don't know, man. I think he's out of eligibility, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just
okay. Hey, man, with the COVID years, you just never know. I mean, we got 30-year-olds still playing college football.
Yeah, I think Tua's brother is still trying to play, Talia.
Yeah, third school.
Mm-hmm. And he started in 2018. It's like when Joe Burrow was playing, but yeah, I think it we have a lot to look forward to, and we just don't know who the teams are yet because nobody knows what recruits they have. So what we'll do on this podcast is keep you updated on big signings and big losses for Tennessee, so that over the course of the year you can kind of like understand what our team looks like and what to look out for going forward. Right?
Okay.
Keep it locked,
man. That's right. Hey, just listen to the name, Locky Top, sports, man. Lock it in, and it's gonna be great. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, and appreciate the folks that did stop in, whether it was one or two. Hopefully, we continue to make this grow. And anyway, have a good night, and we'll see you on the podcast.
See you, Josh.
Later.